Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. Sat before God, prayed for solution. Days ahead of Ram Mandir verdict. Chief Justice of India, Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, shared that he had prayed for a solution to the Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid dispute before pronouncing the verdict in November 2019. Many believe that among the 5 judges who were, he was instrumental in also writing down the judgment. Although the chair was the then Chief Justice, Ranjan Gogoi. Now, looking back at the challenges he faced ahead of the verdict, Chief Justice of India, Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, stated, "Very often we have cases to adjudicate, but we don't arrive at a solution. Something similar happened during the Ayodhya dispute, which was in front of him for the last 3 months, for about 3 months. He sat before the deity and told the deity that he needs to find a solution," the Chief Justice stated. Emphasizing that he prays regularly, the Chief Justice asserted that if you have faith, God will always find a way. On November 9, 2019, a 5-judge Supreme Court bench led by the then Chief Justice of India, Justice Ranjan Gogoi, including Justice Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, resolved the Ram Janmabhoomi dispute, bringing an end to a nearly 70-year-old conflict in Azad Bharat, but more importantly, a feud that's been going on for nearly 5 centuries. The verdict allowed the construction of a Ram temple in Ayodhya at Ram Janmabhoomi, and it also very clearly underlined that that area was indeed Ram Lala Virajman, while designating an alternative 5-acre plot for the mosque in Ayodhya itself at an area and place which was agreeable to all. Now, the opposition went after Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud over his comments. Earlier in the day, Samajwadi Party MP and very senior leader, veteran leader Ram Yadav, in fact went on to abuse him using a cuss word, and then later on went on to clarify that he did not even know that he was being asked a question on the Chief Justice. Whereas, if you look at the entire sequence, you know very well that the reporter is asking that a comment has been made by the Chief Justice on Sunday, and this is what he said. To which Ram Yadav responded. First he said, "Why are you talking about if you hang on to the ghosts or hang on to the past, you will only have ghosts around you." That he said that the Ram Janmabhoomi is a settled matter, why talk about it again? And then when the reporter again said that it's the Chief Justice, current Chief Justice, who talked about it, that's when he used the cuss word for him, saying that such people, such people, am I going to respond to everything that they say? Congress leader Udit Raj said, had the Chief Justice of India prayed for other issues, then misuse of agencies would have stopped. Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, Sena leader, went on to say that he should have prayed before delivering verdicts on Sena versus Sena or NCP versus NCP tussles in the top court. Now, this is not the first time that Justice D.Y. Chandrachud has invoked faith, and this is not the first time that the opposition is targeting him over his faith and his open expression of it. Earlier in January this year, when the Chief Justice embarked on temple visits to the Dwarkadhish temple in Dwarka town and Somnath temple in Somnath in Gir Somnath district, Justice Chandrachud said that district court lawyers must function in a manner that the dhwaja of justice keeps flying for generations to come, just like the dhwaja or flags atop temples which bind all of us together. And the pseudo-liberal lobby targeted him for visiting Dwarkanath temple, Dwarkadhish, clad in saffron. He was merely envisioning universality, but he was mocked. Then earlier in September, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the Chief Justice for Ganesh Puja, the opposition targeted him yet again, raising questions on his oath to office. On The Right Stand, we debunked this narrative with facts on how previous occasions Prime Ministers, including Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, hosting an iftar party at his residence in 2009, had the attendance of the then Chief Justice of India, K.G. Balakrishnan. Now, yet again, the opposition leaders have raised questions on the Chief Justice linked to his faith and to his seeking spiritual help or a divine intervention to a complex issue. Chief Justice of India in June this year had said that judges are not deities and it was dangerous to think of court as a temple of justice. He would rather recast the role of the judge as a server of the people. To serve the people and to seek divine blessings, the Chief Justice of India had turned to the Almighty days ahead of a gargantuan verdict, a huge mammoth verdict. Is it right to politicize such an act? Is it a sin that the Chief Justice of India has sought divine intervention to a complex issue? Is it a sin that the Chief Justice of India prayed ahead of the Ayodhya verdict? Did he go against the constitution or did he violate his oath to office by praying? The opposition's been screaming for faith in the justice system, and they've called and said that the only thing they repose is faith in the justice system. But why create fuss if the Chief Justice himself has faith? Let's take it across to Tuhin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP, and Nikul Patel, leader of the Congress party, after we play out these reactions.
जेव्हा मी अयोध्येचं काम माझ्या पुढे आलं होतं, आणखीन आम्ही 3 महिने अयोध्येच्या कामावर आम्ही विचार करत होतो. म्हणजे शेकडो वर्ष ज्याला कोणी सोल्युशन मानलं नाही ते काम आमच्या पुढे आलं होतं. आणि त्यावेळेला एक असं झालं ते काम चालूच असताना की ह्याच्यात मार्ग कसा शोधायचा, आम्हाला कोणालाही माहिती नव्हतं ह्याच्यात मार्ग कसा शोधता येईल. त्यावेळेला मी आपल्या दररोजच्या दैनंदिन जीवनात माझी जी पूजा करतो तेव्हा मी देवांच्या पुढे भगवंतांच्या पुढे मी बसतो तिथे आणि मी त्यांना सांगितलं ह्याच्यात मार्ग तुम्हीच शोधून द्या. आणि आपला जर का विश्वास असेल, आपली आस्था असेल तर मार्ग आपल्याला नेहमी देव शोधून देतात.
हमें उस पर कोई कमेंट नहीं करा. ये छोड़ो कमेंट. जो जब भूतों को जिंदा करते हो, मुर्दों को, तो भूत बन जाते हो, जब के पीछे पड़ जाते. ऐसे डोंट टॉक दीस प्रॉब्लम्स नाउ. दे आपको दे आर कौन प्रॉब्लम, सब कहाँ है वो. अब तो अपनी बाबरी मस्जिद और ये मंदिर दिख रहा है.
रविवार की बात है.
छोड़ो यार, हम इसी तरह की बातें कहते रहते हैं. Should I take notice of them? कोई CJI संबंध में सवाल ही किसी ने नहीं पूछा. Nobody has asked any question about CJI. CJI is a very erudite person, excellent. अरे हमने कौन सी टिप्पणी की जब तक CJI के बारे में किसी ने पूछा ही नहीं. दादा कोई चीज जोड़ो अलग बात. हमसे सिर्फ बहराइच के बारे में पूछा, उसके बारे में पूछा, बहराइच के लोग ये कह रहे, फलाना ये कह रहे. CJI का तो कोई सवाल ही नहीं.
One may want to take Dr. Ram Gopal Yadav's comment, the clarification, with a pinch of salt, because the earlier sequence very clearly says शनिवार को, रविवार को त्या अयोध्या पर Chief Justice ने कहा. That's what the reporter says, to which he had reacted, and then he pushes him on that. But all right, we'll let that matter rest, because Akhilesh Yadav said the Samajwadi party respects the Chief Justice of India immensely. And he said he didn't know what Dr. Ram Gopal Yadav had said. And soon after came the clarification from Ram Gopal Yadav. Tuhin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP with us. Nikul Patel, leader of the Congress party with us. My namaste and jai hind to you, gentlemen. Festive greetings. We are on the offset of, or right in the middle of a lot of festivities. But Chief Justice of Bharat cannot show faith to him. Is that the case? Or is it that you are not allowed an open expression of your faith? You can show. You have gone to a Buddhist vihara. You can show if you have gone to a mosque, if you have gone to a gurudwara. All that is kosher. But the moment you say that you follow Sanatan values, you go to Ram Mandir, Somnath, Dwarkadish, or you say that you sought divine intervention ahead of an important judgment, that's not done. You disappoint perhaps liberals.
Well, absolutely. You've hit the nail, Anand. I think one must appreciate the candor of Justice Chandrachud, because it takes a lot of honesty for him to say that in a crisis situation he goes to Lord Ram. And I think that candor should be appreciated. But those who are fundamentally dishonest will not appreciate that candor. Point number one, do you have to profess being an atheist or agnostic before becoming a Supreme Court judge? If no, then the Supreme Court judge, then the Honorable CJI has full right to be unapologetic about invoking God to arrive at a correct judgment. I think it needs to be appreciated. Point number two, Ram is an idea. Ram is a sentiment. Ram is an emotion. Ram is dharma rather. And those who are always, who have very little value system left in them will obviously not subscribe to the sentiments of Bhagwan Ram. So any which way, Ram stands for Ram Rajya, Ram stands for justice, Ram stands for fair play. So if he did invoke Bhagwan Ram before delivering justice, that becomes all the more, the judgment becomes all the more credible.
But my point is...
Thirdly,
okay,
look at the history of...
Please complete.
Look at the history of Samajwadi Party. This is the party which has presided over the worst brutal killings of car sevaks in 1990. The Congress Party is guilty of repeatedly, through its lawyer, then lawyer Kapil Sibal, repeatedly trying to prolong the judgment and not arrive at a judgment. And finally, the Supreme Court, there are times we don't agree with the Supreme Court judgment. For example, 2 days ago, Supreme Court very categorically refused to extend the child marriage ban to all faiths. So do we cast aspersions on the judge? So I think, it speaks a lot about the integrity of CJI when he's so candid, and it also speaks a lot about the lack of integrity of our opposition parties, where they continue to cast aspersions on the Ram Temple judgment, where the simple fact is that they still haven't come to terms with the construction of Ram Temple.
Yeah, it's like you can practice your faith but don't be vocal about it. Especially if it is Sanatan Pratha, Nikul Patel. Is that true?
Yes.
Is that fair? आप मंदिर जा रहे जाइए बट खुल के मत बोलिए. भगवत गीता पढ़ते हैं पढ़िए बट खुल के मत बोलिए. शिव की आराधना करते हैं, काशी विश्वनाथ जाने, दिखाने की क्या जरूरत है? चुपचाप करिए ना. Why?
I would like to pray to the God that today in this particular debate, He helps me out to carry out all my speeches and activity and defend all your questions very correctly, so that it would not affect the Sanatan Dharma. I pray to the God. Now I would like to start. Thank you very much, Rahul, for giving me the opportunity.
This is Anand here, Nikul, and Nikul, the fact is, Nikul, if you can pray openly on national television, that's all right. But Justice Chandrachud can't. ये क्या logic?
That is what now you are supporting my activity. Otherwise, on the other way, you might have said that, see, you are not having an intellectual property of your own. You are not able to speak, and now you are praying the God.
You are preempting my questions. I have never challenged your intelligence. I may disagree with your logic and your arguments at times, but never challenged your intelligence. Please go ahead.
That is the other way around of the perception. You can speak in both the ways. Okay. So I have defended myself on one side, and then I have given my justification on the other side of your query. Now, when it comes to a particular case in a Supreme Court, definitely we believe that facts and documents that are being submitted to the court and our honorable judges are fair enough to give their judgments based on their understanding, based on their intellectual power, based on their experience over a period of time, and then whatever they give, it is acceptable to the entire country. And we accept that, and all have accepted that. The thing that has come to the picture today, because something that is out of the blue, or we can say that some statement by the Chief Justice that came had created a controversy, and definitely if we say that God sabko rasta dikhai, he's good, he's believing, he's in faith, but he's particularly quoting a case and then he's stating that. So something is, we can say that people have question on it, and definitely in the freedom of speech, freedom of right, anybody can ask question why you have stated such statement. We have faith in everyone. We believe that everyone must respect their religion, everyone must respect their God, everyone must respect their deity. But when it comes to practice, where I have started, if I am into this debate, then it's my intellectual, my party, what gives me a responsibility. Based on that, I have to speak.
I agree, but even then you would seek some divine intervention to say, allow me to prove my case, do justice to my position, whatever role I have to play, allow me to do justice to that place. You seek that divine intervention, especially human beings, by default when all is well, we don't think of the Almighty. हमको भगवान प्रभु तभी आते हैं जब हम लोग मुश्किल में होते हैं, इसीलिए कई लोगों का नाम जो है विघ्नहर्ता है, संकट मोचन है. That's because by default that's human pravritti. Here he is very candid to say that he is also a human being, and he was also doing a complex role as part of a 5-judge constitution bench, which had to deal on a decide on a matter which was pending for 70 years since our independence, and more than 500 years even through the British Raj. Multiple cases had been filed, and there were from the Mughal period into the British Raj this happened. Even the Marathas could not resolve it. That's the reality. Yeah, we should never forget that between the Mughals and the British, there was a 70-year Maratha rule. I'll keep plugging it in because our history books don't talk about it very well. But we are digressing. Tuin Sinha, the point is that he shouldn't have mentioned. Why did he mention his faith and the fact that he prayed only for the Ayodhya issue. That's where the controversy is, Tuhin, according to Nikul Patel.
Anand, as you mentioned, this was a 491-year-old case. You know, to resolve a 491-year-old case requires a lot of adroitness, it requires a lot of sagacity, and it also requires the blessings of the Almighty, because there are sentiments, there is fervor involved. So like I mentioned, it was very easy for Chandrachud, Justice Chandrachud ji, to avoid the mention of Bhagwan Ram. By mentioning Bhagwan Ram, I think that unapologetic character in him needs to be applauded all the more. Because like I said, you know, those who have a very short, very limited or very contrived understanding of Bhagwan Ram will not understand this fact that Bhagwan Ram himself stands for fair play, justice, maryada, dharma. And therefore, can never be, you know, he can never be an interested party. The Ram temple was you know, obviously the bone of contention. But Bhagwan Ram is a sentiment. Bhagwan Ram is itself faith. So I don't understand why anybody should have a problem. Even जब आप शपथ लेते हैं, जब मंत्री शपथ लेते हैं, जब चीफ जस्टिस शपथ लेते हैं, तो भगवान ईश्वर के नाम पर शपथ लेते हैं. अब वो ईश्वर कौन है, वो ईश्वर स्पेसिफाई नहीं करना या करना है, वो तो आपके इंडिविजुअल की स्वेच्छा होती है ना. तो मेरे ख्याल से ये बिना बात का जो है, ये लोग को कंट्रोवर्सी क्रिएट करने की आदत हो गई है.
No, it's not about that. Is it because let me ask the question and why address the elephant in the room, Nikul Patel. It's not the fact that Justice CJI Chandrachud prays or he's vocal about. It's the fact that is there a set within this so-called ecosystem, the left liberal ecosystem, which thought ye to apna aadmi hai. And now the person is doing all that which is supposedly more Hindutva and less quote-unquote secular. And is there this disappointment and this angst? अरे ये क्या कर दिया? अरे ये क्या कर दिया? तुम तो अपना हमारे आदमी थे. No, I'm just saying this kind of a sentiment was there. अरे अपना, now we'll get all the judgments in our favor. Justice Chandrachud is the Chief Justice of India. And he is doing Ganesh Puja. And he is going to Dwarkadish. And he is going to Somnath. And he was there at Ram Janmabhoomi, at Ram Lala's temple. Once Ram Lala was truly Virajman and the Pran Pratishtha was over. And then Ganesh Puja happened. So is this all that disappointment and that anger coming from this set?
Rahul, I would like to say that...
This is Anand here. I don't know why you are confusing between Anand and Rahul Shivshankar today. Nikul, I have to keep reminding you. Last time too, but go ahead.
Okay. So that is happened. That is what I say that कि भाई जो भी बोलूं ऊपर वाले के दया पे रखना बराबर है. आप जो भी समझो आप समझना है.
नहीं पर आपने मुझे लगता है शिद्दत से प्रे नहीं किया, इसीलिए जवान फिसल रही है. चलिए continue.
Okay. See, I would like to say that whenever it comes to Congress, we have respected everyone and in the country, whether it is Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai. We see when you start a debate, Bharatiya Janata Party person rightly said that we are believing in this faith, Congress is not believing in this faith, and you ask the question that whether CJI is going to Dwarka or Ayodhya. See, everyone can practice and profess their own religion, and that is what our constitution says. And not you, but even Bharatiya Janata Party wants to always portray that Congress is anti-Hindu. But I don't understand why they want to portray that image, or they want to become pro-Hindu and want to say that Congress is doing this, but they don't want to understand the gist of the objection that is being raised, and they want to make it religious deliberately, and then want to try to hammer it out that Congress is anti-Hindu. I don't understand. I think in last 70 years, Congress had never stopped anyone going to the temple. Congress had never stopped anyone practicing any religion in the country. I don't understand why that question comes.
उदित राज कांग्रेस लीडर हैं कि नहीं है? उदित राज कांग्रेस लीडर हैं? उदित राज कांग्रेस लीडर हैं कि नहीं है? Till 1946, Congress was branded as a Hindu party, sir. How is it that 75 years later they become not a Hindu party? That the Congress party has to answer that question.
That is what we are answering.
No. So you have to look at the fact that how is it that this entire 180-degree transformation of the Congress party has happened within the narrative. It is. I didn't make the statement against Justice D.Y. Chandrachud. The statement was made by Udit Raj first, who is a Congress leader. Then the next person is a Congress ally, part of the Indi Gadbandhan, Ram Gopal Yadav, a senior person like that. Look what he calls him. Will you tolerate someone calling something
now
like
I
that?
am telling onto the national television, I am also a congressman saying the same philosophy about what Congress is. And that is what I have been here for. That to clarify what Congress is. I think as what Tuin Sinha is telling about Bharatiya Janata Party,
Correct.
that Congress is, I would like to say that we are never like this. They want to portray our image and they want to do the vote bank politics, and that should not be allowed. And we are here for defend that part. In entire 70 years of our career, we have never stopped anyone to profess any religion, or stopping anyone to go to temple or practice any religion.
See, very, very well said. But if you were to say that the Congress party does not do vote bank politics, that's very, very rich. That is unbelievable. Because from the overturning of the Shabano verdict downwards, it's a litany of instances, sir. I don't want to get there, but you are saying that the BJP is wrongly portraying and the Congress's stand is not that. The Congress's stand is anybody and everybody is free to practice what they want to and profess what they want to profess. Yes, Tuin Sinha, you were saying something.
You know, Anand, in 2004, the Congress party conclusively ceased to be a Hindu party. And that is precisely the reason why in 2007, they filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court saying Bhagwan Ram is imaginary, he does not exist. In 2011, they tried unsuccessfully to bring in what would have been the most sinister bill, the communal violence.
Was it the Congress party or was it the DMK which made that comment? Was it the Congress party or the DMK that said that Bhagwan Ram is imaginary? And that was in the case of the Ram Setu issue. So it was the DMK, not necessarily the Congress party. Secondly, if the Congress is not a Hindu party, so is not the BJP. So is not the BJP, because the BJP has not amended right to education. The BJP has not amended the Places of Worship Act. The BJP has not done anything as far as to freeing Hindu temples. The BJP has also not walked the talk on its claim that it is a Hindu party. Yeah, please go ahead.
No, but there is no comparison between the two. To come back to Justice Chandrachud, if we were still living in the Iftar party era, and if, you know, before delivering the judgment, Justice Chandrachud would have been to an Iftar party, he may still have been celebrated by the ecosystem of the Congress and the left ecosystem. But the fact that, you know, he celebrates Ganpati festival at his home, the fact that he prays to Bhagwan Ram is a big deterrent in, you know, goes against his acceptance in the left ecosystem.
No, that's again an argument that you are making, but I would also like to note that the 3 illegal floors of the Sanjoli Masjid in Shimla region were made under Jairam Thakur's rule. Jairam Thakur belongs to which party? Tuin Sinha.
No,
so let's not don't claim badge value and custodianship when you know आप खुद ही उसमें खरे नहीं उतर रहे हैं बहुत सारी चीजें
happening very covertly.
No, sir. No, sir. Sir, 3 floors coming right in the front of the eyes of the municipality, and at the time when Jairam Thakur was the Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh, is evidence enough for how Hindutva or how this one is Hindu a party the BJP is. So a lot of the infiltration has happened, a lot of the Farji name boards have happened, illegals have come into this country over the last 10 years where the BJP has been at power at the center. So we are digressing, but I'm just making a point that you can't just overtly claim
30,000 illegal and 30,000 illegal migrants have also been deported back from Assam to Bangladesh. So there are efforts which are on. Yes, we have a lot more to do.
You are from Jharkhand and you know what Jharkhand is reeling with. But let's come back to the point. Why is the Congress party
comes there?
Let's see. वो तो फिर चुनावी जुमला है कि उसके आगे कुछ आप करते हैं वो देखा जाएगा. It's in the coming days पता लग जाएगा. But Nikul Patel, coming back to this point, is the Congress party going to take action against the likes of Udit Raj, who are the first to jump the gun and shoot their mouth?
See, that will be decided by the core working committee. If some
if action is not taken, then we will say that you are playing both good cop, bad cop. Idhar se bhi dhol baja raha hai, udhar se bhi dhol baja raha hai. Then the public confused. What's your position? Please come.
It is not like that. It is not like that. Suppose, see, somebody is speaking in his individual capacity, that doesn't reflect that entire Congress is having that ideology. That is the first part. Second part, in the last whatever tenure or what Congress had ruled, I rightly said and that we have never stopped anyone to practice. Even the article says that freedom of speech. If somebody is speaking about someone, then it is his own perception. Secondly, regarding Chief Justice of India, we respect him. Thirdly, we respect his judgment, and we have already accepted that thing. And definitely, if he is professing some particular religion, faith, then it is definitely his own belief and faith, and we respect that also. I would like to say over here, as my Bharatiya Janata Party person said that Congress had done this, but I would like to let the people of this country know that don't get into this false perception of what Bharatiya Janata Party want to spread. You can look into the entire history. We as a Congress had tried to make people happy in the country by allowing them to practice any religion and faith they believe in. We have never stopped anyone, and we have never said that we are going to make this country of one particular religion. We always say that this is our Bharatiya, we are by birth here, and we want to make our country.
Sir, the idea was this country was supposed to be a one
happy.
particular way of life, but the rules and the legislations passed by the Congress party only furthered the growth of certain communities while marginalizing the way of life itself and trying to corrupt and corrode the way of life. Otherwise, the very DNA of our preamble, the original construct of our preamble would not have been changed during the emergency. That itself now is with the Supreme Court because they have to consider, and there is a petition that's been admitted to see what was done during emergency when most of democracy was in jail and the upper house was not even the full house, and these things, two words were inserted, changing the very economic structure policy that our country could follow, and also what the actual core DNA of our country is. That itself is under question. So if there was no ulterior motive or intent to change the way of life and the philosophy of Bharat itself under the Congress rule, then this would not have been done. The Shah Banu verdict of the Supreme Court would not have been overturned. The courts would not have been dismissed, and emergency would not have been imposed. There are many, sir. It's a laundry list. So let not the Congress party claim to be holier than thou. I will rest my case for the moment. Thank you very much, Tuhin Sinha and Nikul Patel. Always a pleasure speaking with you, gentlemen. Thank you. We're going to take a very, very short break. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we get you the details on the Ganderbal terror strike and what intel sources are telling CNN News 18. Stay with us.